AMC CEO just came out the other day in an interview, and he pledged not to issue any of the 500 million shares that they asked shareholders to authorize. So if shareholders authorize another 500 million shares for issue, he promised all investors, all shareholders, that they will not use them, at least in the calendar year 2021. This is from CEO Adam Aaron, and he's been working very hard to get the movie theaters back up and running as states start to reopen. As we saw a pretty record-breaking weekend with Godzilla vs. Kong, things are on the up and up for AMC, and he says that, you know, they're not going to be issuing any of those 500 million shares if they're authorized, at least in 2021. That doesn't mean that they won't issue them in 2022, but he said at least for this year, they wouldn't touch them at all, and that made a lot of investors very happy and much more confident in investing in AMC. You know, it was just a piece of good news. So according to B. Riley analyst Eric Wold, he said Friday that the CEO's comments were interpreted as good news, and investors really like them. And he said how this could be a sign of more investors starting to put money into AMC because they're not worried about their positions getting diluted. They're not worried about any dilution, at least in 2021. And by the time that they would issue new shares, the business would already be doing better, because this year, you know, we're already seeing more and more movie theaters open up. Some of their biggest markets like Los Angeles, New York, those have already started to open back up with limited capacity. And as we start to see more movie theaters open up and more people get vaccines, well, movie theaters are going to do more business, like we've already seen with Godzilla vs. Kong. They had a great weekend there. So he said, we hereby pledge at AMC that if shareholders approve this authorization for 500 million new shares to be issued, we will not use one of those 500 million shares in the calendar year 2021. He said they still do have authorization to issue 43 million shares at this moment in time if they wanted to. So they said they could use that if they wish to raise some extra cash, but they've decided that right now they don't need to do that. They said at this very moment in time, things are looking fine. They don't need to raise that extra money. They've been thinking about it, but at this moment, they haven't made any decisions yet. So at least for now, we know, you know, they could issue 43 million shares this year. And if the 500 million are authorized by shareholders, well, they could go into that and they could potentially do those not this year, but in 2022.